Hi, I'm going to show you some chart options that are very quick and easy to get access to. So these chart options are really to do with the look and feel of the graph itself. So I'm going to very quickly go and add a bar chart in based on my data. Now, if that doesn't make sense, I would encourage you to go back and look at the video which is related to creating bar and line charts, and that explains what I just did. Now, how I work this, if I click onto the graph, I get two new tabs at the top. I can use these options, but there is also, against the graph, we have three little buttons. Now, when I click away, the buttons disappear and so does the tab. But these three buttons, once I'm on the graph, these are, shall we say, maybe 80%, 85% of what you're going to want to change about that graph. Now, the three buttons are, the plus allows you to choose what parts of the graph you're including. The brush allows you to choose what the graph looks like. And the funnel, well, that allows you to decide whether you want to include or exclude certain parts of data from the graph. Now, I'm not going to show you every single element in massive detail. I'm just going to give you the flavor for what they do, because they are very easy to kind of explore and have a bit of a play with. So first of all, chart elements. If I hover over axis just here, can you see I get a little tick box? Tick that box, re-tick it. Can you see tick and untick? Can you see what changes about the graph? So it's taking away the axis. If I want to have a bit more control of that, click the triangle there. You can decide, do you want to get rid of the vertical axis or do you want to get rid of the horizontal, or both? Axis title, do you want to have a title on the axes? If I tick that in, can you see it adds the title in there? Anything which is a title, if you just click onto it and just type, away you go, you can change what it says. But I'm going to take that off. Do I want to have a chart title? Maybe I might get rid of that, give myself a bit more space. And in fact, look, if I go to axis, maybe I might decide to get rid of the vertical axis and not have the figures, just have the bars. Going a bit further down, data labels. Well, this would be quite good if I don't want the axes, because I can have the actual figures on there. Data table, can you say I can have a table of figures beneath? Error bars, if you want to show a margin of error. And all of these items, can you see I get a little triangle and I can change the options in here. They all have a more options button, so you can go and delve into that. So that is the chart elements. And the really good thing about this is, can you see as you hover over each item, it gives you a preview of what the chart's going to look like if you were to select that. Next one, the brush. So the brush, this is really, really good. You can very, very quickly and easily change the appearance of that graph based on a preset. And you don't have to mess around too much. I mean, really, Microsoft have got some pretty talented people, especially with graphical stuff, kind of coming up with these appearances of graph. And some of them are quite good. If you pick the one you like, so let's say this one's a good one, and you don't like the colour, go to colour. Can you see we've got a variety of preset colour palettes that we can just pick straight away, click, and can you see it changes the graph? And then finally, the picture of the funnel, if I click onto that, this is where you can include or exclude data from your graph. So for instance, let's say in this example, Dave might be going on a sabbatical, so it's unfair to include Dave's figures in this graph. So I might untick that. Or perhaps Q4 might be projections, so we don't want to include that. Once we've unticked them, if we click apply, can you see the graph changes on that basis? So how we get these options is we click on the graph, it's these three buttons here. It's not going to change every single thing about your graph, but it's probably going to change 85, maybe even 90% of what you're going to want to do with your graph. So that is a bit about chart options within a chart in an Excel file.